Peace to the tribe. I'm Nudiamonds. I hope everyone out there is doing well. And we're going to be doing an 888 LionGate Portal energy reading. I hope everyone is ready for this. There's going to be a lot of info, but it's all for enlightenment. Okay. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, this is a huge date in the spiritual community as this is the Lionsgate portal. Okay, so we're in the midst of this Leo season, and they like to call us the Lionsgate because the sun is aligned with the Sirius galaxy, the Sirius star. Okay, and it's a lot of things that happen, a lot of mystical, magical things that happen when it comes to this Syrian energy, this enlightenment, this information that is being poured in for the collective at this time. It's a lot of good things that happen during these times, and we're gonna jump into it. Okay, so again, don't forget to get those likes up. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are in the midst of this energy right now. There are a lot of things that are happening cosmically right now that are going to continue to amp up, ramp up, amplify, electrify, intensify. I mean, there is so much here. Okay, so we're going to get into it. And again, shout out to the Soul Tribe. I'm super excited. Okay. So yes, I said this 8-8 portal isn't just a regular 8-8 portal. It is truly the 888 portal, right? Because August 8th, 2026 on the Gregorian calendar, that 2 and that 6 does equal 8. Okay. So we're in the midst of that 888 portal. And this could be a huge power portal for you, a huge activation for you at this time as you begin to tap into your power. Okay. And I like to say that because the 8, when we look at the 8 and how it's structured, right? It is this beautiful tapping into divine energy, tapping into the flow, going with the flow, as above, so below, as within, so without, just really embracing and embodying what that looks like for you and not being afraid to deep dive within yourself, not being afraid to ascend or descend, right? For your greatest good, for your elevation, for your evolution, right? Um, and it's also this energy with the higher self, the lower self, getting in tune with your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. That way you're in divine alignment to receive source, to receive yourself, in all facets of yourself, no matter what that looks like. And you tap into infinite potential, right? Looking at it from a different perspective, right? You turn the 8 on the side, it goes into that infinity symbol, that infinite, right? Infinite possibilities, unlimited possibilities, which taps you into your true power, your true nature. So yeah, we about to be deep diving. We're going to get into a little bit of numerology. We're going to get into a little bit of astrology, some channeled messages, all of those good things. So yes, be sure, yeah, drop them 8s in the chat, drop them infinite symbols, and get those likes up. This is going to be some phenomenal energy. As y'all can see, I have been through a series of events just from last night, okay? And it has to deal a lot with the cosmic energies and the influx of energy that we are integrating right now, okay? So, y'all got to excuse me, but I I'm physically here, but I'm spiritually somewhere else And I'm navigating between both of those realms right now. But I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be here. It's just I'm in like pure zen mode. Like, and y'all know me, I'll be super fired up, but today I'm just like I'm super chill. And no, I'm not on no acacia because y'all know when I'm on acacia, I get to doing a whole lot of I'm just comfortable with who I am, comfortable where I am, in my own skin, right? Without the facade, without the extra antics, right? And I feel like that's when you take a seat in your own personal power, you're able to be who you are authentically without any extra additives, without any extra stimulation. Like I'm just content in my own energy and I'm basking in that. And I feel like the divine is pouring in a lot of love, pouring in a lot of nourishment, pouring in a lot of light to those who've been doing that alchemy work. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the bliss. Okay. So again, yeah, I see y'all. Shout out to the Soul Tribe again. I love y'all so much. Don't forget to get them likes up again. We into numerology over here in the math ain't mathin'. And yeah, we gonna deep dive. All right. So yes, I said this is the 888 portal. This is the seed of life activation. Okay. And I say that again because when you look at the eight and how it's structured, right? This as above, so below, this as within, so without, this higher self, this lower self. But then when you also turn that to the side, it's this infinite loop, it's this going forward, going back, masculine, feminine, right? But when you combine both of those aspects, it creates this flower of life, this seed of life activation. And I feel like that is what's happening with us. We mastered all sides of ourselves. We're integrating a lot. We've been initiated and we are one with ourselves. So now we get in tune with that activation of source, that activation of self at this time. And it's a beautiful time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Um, right now, and just really bask in this light, bask in this love, and just be who you are. Okay. So I said the seed of life is also an activation of the tree of life, right? And the tree of life, when I think of trees, it's that same beautiful, infinite symbol of the eight, right? You have this core, this root, this base, this structure of the tree. But deep down, within the roots, within the mycelium, there is life. There is life that you can't see. There are things that are going on within the dark, right? And then when you go up, right, it's these branches, it's this life, it's this light, it's this fruit, it's this, beautiful symbiotic relationship that is being recognized by all life forms on this planet, on this plane. And it's just such a beautiful thing to witness, such a beautiful thing to experience when you stop and smell the roses, stop and smell the flowers, and get in tune with yourself and get in tune with nature. Like it's really so beautiful, right? And I feel like that goes into ourselves, right? When we really deep dive into our minds, right? And how we're able to create whatever reality we want, we really get in tune with ourselves, right? And what that truly looks like for us. So it's this beautiful high, low, in, out, light, dark energy that is at play and in effect here with this 888 energy, right? Even when we take it outer space, right? We are on earth, but there are things happening outer space, or for some people who have the perspective of it being flat earth, right? We're on this plane, then there's other planes, there's other worlds, there's other levels, there's other layers, right? And people who even have an inner earth perspective, right? Us being under a dome, us being under a firmament, us going into those levels of our Gatha, right? It is this as above, so below, as within, so without energy. And the best way to get in tune with that is by going within yourself, looking at yourself. Okay. So I said, the tree of life, the deep depth to withstand the truth. Okay. So when you deep dive into the deep depths of yourself, what lies there, right? What lies there? What lies are there, right? And what do you have to uproot? What do you have to discover? What do you have to shine a light on when it comes to yourself, right? And being honest with yourself, being truthful with yourself. That way you're able to uproot, release, allow, receive whatever it is that you need to at this time. Okay. So going in the deep depths in yourself to withstand the truth. And in these deep depths, you start to embody this transformation, right? And I like I said, it starts with the eight. I'm still breaking down the eight. The way when we write a eight, we start at the top, then we go around, then we go down, right? So getting down into the deep depths of yourself, the bottomless pit, the abyss, right? What's hidden, right? And when you go to these deep depths of yourself, that's when you have these transformations. When you look inside yourself, when you look at yourself, right? That's when you begin to have the transformation. But you have to be truthful with yourself, okay? To embody the transformation, okay? And that's when you start to enable the rebirth, right? Because when you go down to the bottom, when you get down to the root, then you can come back up, right? Then you ascend, then you break free. That is that seed of life that I'm talking about, right? When you plant that seed, it starts to germinate, right? Then it has to break free. But that doesn't happen until the roots are formed, till those roots are strengthened, till those roots have connected with the earth and sustained themselves, integrated themselves into the earth, right? This is also our minds. This is also our bodies. This is also our spirit. Yet it's going to be a deep metaphysical breakdown. So get them likes up, okay? Your girl's not just, oh, it's the number 8. We're tapping into our power and I catch you guys on the. No. We're going to be doing some psychology. We're going to be tapping in. Now, this is the acacia. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to tap in today. But right now, I'm very much so in tune with my mind, body, and soul. I'm gonna get into the spiritual aspects because we got to start at the base level first. We got to start at the ground level first. Then I'm gonna take y'all up. Okay. So yeah. It all starts with you, yourself, when you deep dive into the crevices of yourself. What lies in the back of your mind? What lies in your deep subconscious mind? What lies deep within your heart? What lies deep within the roots, right? That way you are secure. You secure in your foundation. You secure in yourself. You secure in your truth. But sometimes we got to get down to the bottom of it to uproot those lies, to uproot the distortion, to uproot the illusions, the confusion. But that starts with being truthful, being honest with yourself. Okay. So I said, go into the deep depths of yourself to withstand the truth, the deep depths to embody transformation and to enable the rebirth. The eight, the eight, the eight. Y'all know, y'all know I be different over here. All right. When I think about the eight, what it sounds like, yeah, the number, but the eight, eating eight, right? What shout out to Dr. Be Serious. What's eating you, right? 8, what is being consumed, right? Again, the 8, what goes into your mouth enters the body, nourishes your cells, nourishes your root, nourishes the blood, comes back up, nourishes the mind, right? This is the way of the heart. This is the way that we think, right? So getting in tune with this embodiment of the 8 and being mindful of what you're consuming at this time. Yes, eating, what you're eating with your mouth, what you're allowing in your mouth, soul tribe, what you're releasing from your mouth as well, what comes out of your mouth, what you're receiving, what you're releasing, what you're attracting, what you're repelling, what you're letting go. Okay. All about that 8, all about consumption, all about what are you consuming and who and what you're allowing yourself to be consumed by. Okay. What are you consuming and what's consuming you? Okay. And again, this isn't just a eating thing. This isn't just a health thing, right? Because it's about what you allowing into your portals. This is a power portal, this 8. So it's all about what you listening to, what you allowing in your ears, allowing to be processed through the frequency of sound, right? Consuming with the ears, we consume with our ears, we consume with our senses, right? What we smell, that alters a thought, that alters our emotions, right? If you smell something disgusting, I'm immediately, right? Antennas is up, right? Or versus if you smell a nice soft rose, some beautiful flowers, some beautiful essences, oh, that takes you to heaven immediately, instant nirvana. Okay. What you're consuming that alters your energy, that alters your frequency. Yeah, this gonna be one of them ones, y'all. Okay. Your eyes, what you're consuming with your eyes. Because again, this goes back into the 8. This light enters into your eyes and goes into your brain and process things out. You eat, these things get consumed by you, digested, and come right back out, right? What you listen to, it goes into your subconscious mind, right? What you're seeing goes into your subconscious mind. Who and what you allow in your frequency, in your energy, right? Leave an energetic imprint on you, whether you're aware of it or not. Okay. Your antennas, the hair, that's why we have hair all over our bodies. We're picking up on these things, senses, right? Gut feeling, intuition, right? Pay attention to all these things because this is a part of consumption. 8. Okay. 8 is so many things attributed to the 8. Now we're going to start getting to the numerology of the 8. I feel like I broke down the embodiment of the number. Okay. Because y'all know I'm going to take y'all through there. Okay. Get them likes up. 8, this is about merging, right? 8 is attributed to Scorpio, right? That scorpionic nature, the underworld, right? Merging, right? What 8? What's eating you? What are you eating? What are you allowing in your portals? That is merging, your sense of connecting with frequencies, with energy, merging with energies, right? A form of sacred energy exchange, right? Sex, being intimate, right? And it's different levels of intimacy, right? You could just be spending time with someone, connecting with someone. It doesn't have to always be sexual, but sex is a part of merging those energies. That's why you got to be careful about what you're consuming and what you're allowing yourself to be consumed by, right? because this could go right or this could go left. This can go deep, deep into some dark energy if you are unaware, if you are unintentional, right? You thinking this is just for fun, not knowing somebody could have parasitic energies, diseases, viruses, all type of things. So you have to be very mindful of your energy, right? On a sexual level, on a mental level, on a financial level, on an energetic level, spiritually, physically, emotionally, right? All levels. Okay. That is that merging of the energy, right? When our auras come together, when our energies come together, when our electromagnetic fields come together, that's a form of that eight, right? Your circle, my circle coming together. Your ideas, my ideas. Your brain, my brain. Your organs, my organs. Your thoughts, my trauma, your trauma. Your healed perspective, my healed perspective, right? That is the merging. That is the coming together. Okay. The psyche, right? Occult things, deep diving into things that aren't considered the norm, right? The eight is attributed to the hidden, right? Hidden realm, hidden things, secretive, right? Again, that goes into power, right? We all have this sense of power. We all carry a certain vibration. We all carry a certain energy, but it's all about your intentions and what you're doing with that energy, right? Anybody could be a witch, a warlock, but it's all about the intentions. It's all about what you're doing with that power, what you're doing with that energy, right? We're all humans, right? We're all people, we're all spirits, but it's about what that spirit came here to do. Does it have good intention? Does it have bad intentions? Is it using its power for good? Is it using its power for bad? Pay attention to that, because this is the time where all things that are hidden are revealed. Okay. What goes in must come out. What is put in must be put out. That goes into karma. That goes into that eight, right? Okay. As above, so below, as within, so without. All right. What goes around comes around. Yeah. So you better make sure you getting your stuff together. You putting your best foot forward. You working on healing yourself, working on loving yourself, working on mastering your mind, elevating your mind. That way you're able to grow, you're able to break free, you're able to cut cords and detach and release certain things that aren't necessary for your growth at this time. Because where we're going, some things and some people can't come. Okay. And we've been on this journey. We have certain experiences so that we are aware of that now. We are no longer naive. We can't play dumb. We know better. So we're doing better. That's how we truly tap into our power and using our power for good, using the light for good. Okay. The force, right? Your life force energy for good. Okay. All right. Again, this is how you break through loops, patterns, cycles, right? People continuously loop de loop, right? Because they aren't able to see themselves, they aren't able to tap into accountability, have the discipline, right? Because that's another level to the eight, right? Having the discipline, having the structure to break through, to break free of whatever feels like it has a hold on you, right? Addictions, right? Manipulation. Be mindful, be aware. That's why some of us, we are called to sit back and observe, That way we can see things and things will start to reveal themselves to us. Okay. Um, and that's when you're able to tap into your higher mind and your lower mind. Okay. Because to me, that's what the eight looks like. It looks like a higher mind and a lower mind, higher self, lower self, but being able to have free will and discipline to know to do better, right? Know when it's a time and place for everything, because it is a time and a place for everything, but you have to be able to know. And how do you know? By getting in tune with yourself, okay? Getting in tune with your masculine and your feminine, right? When you master your lower self, your higher self, when you master your light and your shadow of your feminine and your masculine, you become one with yourself. You become whole. You become one with source. And source is a sense of yourself, because you're mastering yourself. You're loving yourself. You're embracing yourself. Okay. This is where you tap into the mind, right? Because a mind is that higher plane where you can create certain things. You can create whatever reality you want. Okay. And then you go into the lower plane, your lower self, your lower chakras, right? Which is your sexual organs. That is that place where we create from. So you want to be very intentional, very mindful of that energy as well, because from both spaces we can create, right? People creating out of their lower nature and people creating out of their higher nature. But people who are in tune with both, we are able to navigate through this realm a little easier, navigate through other planes, timelines, dimensions. We're able to go to and from those energy centers easily because we mastered ourselves. Okay. Um, because those are portals. Again, all of our holes on our bodies are portals, because that's where things enter in and exit from. Okay. But when you master these energies, you become whole. Okay. So I said all holes are portals. And when you master those holes, you become whole, wholeness, oneness with yourself. Okay. That oneness is that seed, right? The intention that was planted by you or by someone else. Again, that's why you have to deep dive to get to the root of these things. And it'll all start to make sense, because that seed can enter in the cell, right? A seed is a cell. And when this is so like multi-dimensional, right? Because it all starts from like an atom, right? It starts from like an atom, which is like a cell, the nucleus, right? Which then forms into matter, right? Plasma, ether, energy, right? And then that expands and then it creates a physical form, which creates a seed that could be planted into things to grow, to nourish, to blossom, to bloom and expand, right? But again, this goes into your psyche, this goes into manifestation, this goes into creation. So that's why it's very good to be intentional about what you're doing, so that way you aren't manifesting out of the unknown. You aren't manifesting out of spite. You're manifesting with intention. Okay. All right. I said, and when those seeds are planted, again, the seeds are planted in darkness, right? The hidden realm, the underworld, the mycelium, right? The mind, when we go into darkness, right? Our brains, the pineal gland, the womb, the seed, the child, right? All of these things are engulfed in darkness, right? That black dot, okay? The void, where nothing and everything is possible, right? It's nothing, it's silent, it's pitch black, it's dark, okay? Right? Triple darkness, right? The infinite, right? Dark matter, because the dark matters. What goes on in the dark matters. Things germinate in the dark. That's the act of creation, okay? That darkness is that infinite. Again, where you're able to create nothing, that nothing can turn into something, right? The act of a thought, right? Meditation, when you're in a deep, deep thought or deep, deep meditation, when you quiet the mind, you unlock the keys to the universe, because that's where the universe all started, in nothing, in pitch black, okay? And we all know that sense of nothing, again, can create something, all right? Also, when we get into the 8, we get into supreme mathematics. Again, nothing, something, build and destroy, right? With the 8, you tap into this power. You can build something, you can create something. When you get back in tune with the root, get back in tune with the intent. What are you doing it for? Why are you building it? Why are you creating it? Okay. Or it can destroy, right? That goes into the alchemy, breaking things down to extract something, to release something, to pull something out, to gain something, okay? Or destroy something, okay? Um, and that also goes into alchemy, right? When you're getting in tune with healing yourself on another level, you have to deep dive within yourself to see yourself and be truthful in order to alchemize that energy, in order to break through certain programmings, illusions, confusions, concepts, constructs, um, things like that. You have to really deep dive within yourself and do a lot of alchemy and transmute that energy and elevate it. Okay. That's how you build something. Sometimes you got to destroy that old foundation to rebuild a new one, right? That death and that rebirth energy, right? When we go into the scorpionic nature of the Scorpio, that is that snake, right? That is that spider, that is that lower root, right? That animal instinct, that survival instinct, that primal instinct, the ego, right? But when you learn to master that, when you learn to heal that, pour love into yourself, give yourself grace. Yeah, this is how you alchemize that energy and lift that energy up, transmute that energy. Then you begin to rise from the ashes and become the phoenix. You rise above the ego, right? The eagle rises above the ego, and you're able to see things from a different perspective because you've done the healing work. Okay. That is a transformation. That is the alchemy of the Scorpio, right? That fixed cross axis. Something has to be sacrificed in order to ascend, in order to receive the reward, in order to receive justice. You got to have the inner strength to see it through, the physical strength, the spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, financial strength to see it through. Okay. All right, now drop them gems. That acacia starting to kick in. Get them likes up. Okay. And that strength, right? Because I feel like I broke down the etymology of Scorpio, which is the eighth sign, and the fixed cross axis, because we're on that fixed cross axis with us being in Leo. But this is the 8-8, which is squaring that. I gotta pull it back and slow it down. So I broke down that axis of the fixed cross, right? And also, yeah, okay, no, I didn't. I didn't break it all the way down. Also, when we get into that scorpionic nature, again, it goes into desires, right? This goes back into alchemy. This goes back into discipline. What it is that you desire, right? And what is that desire attached to? Because that could be some form of addiction. That could be some form of inner child trauma. You already know I'm going to take it there. That could be a form of something that you're not aware of. That's why you have to do the inner work to reveal it. So you're able to see it. So you're able to feel it. So you're able to heal it. Then you can tap into your true desires because you're not manifesting from an unhealed perspective. You're manifesting from a healed perspective, which goes back into the 8 because the 8th letter is H. So you're able to heal your heart when you hear yourself. What's going on with me, y'all? Have I lost anyone? Are y'all still with me? Y'all all right? Are y'all all right? Because your girl, I told you we about to get into some metaphysical. I don't know where I'm about to go. I don't know where we about to go. We about to go for a galactic ride. Okay. I'm about to take y'all on a spaceship with me. Is y'all ready? Okay, because we already all aboard. All aboard. Get them likes up. Let's go. Okay. Your girl's dropping some esoteric stuff today. What's gotten into me? I like it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I broke down desires in a fixed cross. So yeah, healing. Thank you, Spirit. That way you're manifesting from a healed perspective. Okay. Which comes from the inner strength, the discipline, the sacrifice. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, my spirit guys in here so heavy. Okay. We are divinely protected at all times. All right. Y'all gonna have a lot of encounters. Do not be afraid. It's a reflection of you. Okay. All right. So I'm breaking it back down. I'm coming back down to this plane, y'all. Now, when we get into this 8, when we breaking it down from a tarot card perspective, and I love this perspective because in 1400s, when tarot cards were first created, right, by a level of elite occultists. The number 8 in tarot was the strength card, right? It wasn't the strength card. It was the justice card when it was first created. Okay. And 11 in the tarot cards was the strength card. Okay. So they flipped it and switched it later on when we got into the Rider Raid version of it to denote some of the transformations that we go through on a occult level, because they're still trying to hide the science, our science, melanated people's, heavily melanated people's science. Okay. Okay. So they're interchangeable, strength and justice, when we get into the tarot cards. But for the sake of this video, um the 8 is the strength card in tarot, right? And the strength card is a sense of physical strength. It is a sense of going the distance, having courage, right? Being confident, having that vitality, right? Which is all that masculine, right? But also it's a sense of this feminine going within, inner strength, the hidden strength that it takes to elevate. That's why it's a woman on the strength card in tarot and not a man, because the feminine carries a different essence when it comes to her internal strength, right? Bearing children, having cycles monthly. It takes a different type of strength to physically bring in a child through the womb, right? And you have to be trusting of source. That's an internal strength. While enduring physical pain, it's levels to it. Okay. And that level of spiritual strength comes when you're able to face yourself, sacrifice yourself for a higher level of justice, right? On the tarot card, she also has an infinity symbol above her head, knowing that she is one with source as she's prying open the lion's mouth, not with brute force, but from the internal strength that she has, but from the love of her heart that she has, right? And if you really pay attention on the tarot card, the lion is licking the woman's hand as she's gently prying it open. See, it's different. The woman energy is able to subdue the most ferocious beasts. When you tapped into your inner strength and your inner power. Ooh, spirit taking me through there. Okay. Yeah, take them through there today. All right. Also, again, that 11, right, which is the justice card, right? We want to be warriors for justice, right? The justice card is a someone of higher authority sitting in between two pillars with a scale and a sword in a hand, meaning I'm going to operate from divine justice, divine balance by speaking my truth, standing in truth at any cost. It don't matter. Okay? Because I'm in between the temples, I'm in between the worlds, and I am a divine messenger for source, standing on justice, integrity, morals, truth, honesty, by keeping my heart as light as a feather. All right now. Okay now. Okay now. Thank you, Spirit. Also, another hidden gem, thank you, Spirit, that came to me was the star card in tarot, which is number 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8, which hold on, because Spirit, hold on, Spirit got me all right. Okay. Ooh, Spirit said, we'll wind it back. Because the Justice card is 11. Like I said, that's the pillars, that's the portal, right? But 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 on the fixed cross axis is Taurus, right? So your values, your morals, standing on principles, right? Okay, thank you. Then we can move into the star. Then we can elevate to the star card, because the star card is also attributed to Aquarius, which is another sign on the fixed cross axis, right? So it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice to be in tune with yourself, your true self, your authentic self, because the star card, as shown on the card, is a woman who is nude with the 2 pitchers of water, kneeling down on one knee, pouring one pitcher into water, one pitcher on land, right? The water bearer, right? So this is where you get in tune with the mind, body, and soul, being pure of self, tapping in to your Merkaba. That way you're able to ascend, because also on the star card is a ibis, is a phoenix in the partridge tree, in a tree, right? Meaning that you activate the sense of immortality by tapping into yourself, by alchemizing the ego, by loving yourself, by being pure, by tapping into your inner child. I gotta focus because I'm in there. Yeah, by staying focused and being in tune with yourself and the purity of self. That's how you tap into your star power. Then you're able to activate your Merkaba. Then you're able to travel beyond this star system, this plane of existence, by going deep within your own subconscious mind, getting in tune with the way of the heart, because that's another layer of the star, right? The star is the sun, the star is the soul, right? And when we connect that to the sun, to the soul, that is also attributed to the mind, but that's also attributed to the heart. And that's how you truly activate your Merkaba, right? Mind, body, soul, spirit, all in one, all in unison, being pure, being light to ascend. And then you tap in with, again, other star systems, other star beings, other star family, other stars, physically and spiritually. Okay. Whew. All right. Come on now. Somebody. Get them likes up in here. All right. Also, on the Kabbalah, the tree of life. 8 is splendor, right? And what is splendor? It is something splendid, something spectacular, something miraculous, something extraordinary. Okay. Something magical. Isn't that tapping back into the 8, right? The scorpionic nature, the magic, the mystical, the occult, the hidden, right? But really, the magician did alchemy, right? Working with all of the elements on the periodic table to bring it to the table. Then you add yourself, which is the ether, which is the 5th element, and then you're able to manifest magic instantly. Okay. So, yeah, that is how you truly get in tune with this energy, with this frequency, with this 888 portal, because it's a power portal. All right. Other things that are attributed to the 8, again, when we talk about that scorpionic energy, it goes into money, right? Abundance, 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 right? 8, power, abundance, prosperity, right? So this is where you truly tap into your power to attract everything it is that you want and need and desire. When you've alchemized in the fire, you've gone through the period of purification to tap into elevation. Okay. And again, this abundance energy, it comes in the physical and it comes in the spiritual. Okay. Gratitude, cool for cookies for the donation. Send you that love and light right back. Gratitude. Okay. All right. That is the rise of the phoenix. That is the alchemy. Okay. And then when we get into this rise of the phoenix, because that's a spiritual thing, it's a physical death for a spiritual rebirth. Then you're able to rise like the phoenix and tap into that immortality of yourself, tap into the true powers of yourself, tap into that infinite being with unlimited possibilities, right? Then you're able to connect on a soul plane level, on a spiritual level, right? Because the rise of the phoenix goes into Sirius rising energy, right? If you was to go outside right now, Sirius is aligned with the sun, right? When the sun is rising, that's Sirius rising with the sun. So all of this energy is pouring in. It's in divine alignment with us. Okay. And that is truly what this LionGate energy is about, because now we're about to break off into the atmosphere. Now we're about to go somewhere else. Now the spaceship about to take off. Okay. Because from our earthly perspective, yeah, this is the Lion's Gate. When you break through that Lion's Gate, right, you get in tune with Sirius, right? aka the dog star, aka Canis Major, Canis Minor, right? The underworld, Anubis, right? That primal nature. Again, but if you've done the alchemy work, you're able to rise above those things, and those things don't have control over you. You are in control of it, right? Descending to ascend, right? That Kundalini energy, that life force energy, because that's also attributed to the eight. The eight also looks like the Caduceus, right? The snake, the dragon, right? So being able to master yourself and alchemize these different facets of yourself, okay? That's when you're truly able to align with this energy. Because, yes, an alignment in the sky, but are you aligned with yourself? Message. Everybody want to go through the lion gate. Everybody want to leave here, but are you aligned with yourself first? Are you aligned with your own cellular structure, with your own DNA, with your own mind, with your own heart before you try to escape reality and go somewhere else? Right? That these are all facets of that eight, right? That underworld, right? Being addicted to something to distract yourself from the reality or whatever you may be going through. And this is where we have people in the collective snap you right out of it, where you got to remind yourself to snap right out of it. That's, one of my missions here to do, to get us to reflect on ourselves, see ourselves, take accountability, heal ourselves, love ourselves. And then we're able to ascend to those planes of existences, but not out of escapism, out of a calling, right? Again, this is that serious alignment, right? And serious is very much so a spiritual place. It's an energy, it's a frequency, it's high vibrational, right? It's knowing your power, knowing who you are, right? Crystal technology, frequencies, high frequencies, water, aquatic beings, aquatic nature, right? Higher octave, right? Because when we talk about Syrians, Syrian is also sounds like siren. I believe they're spelled the same way, right? So it's a higher calling, a higher octave, oct, eight. So again, some of us will be called, some of us will be contacted, some of us will be in direct communication with beings, entities, star family, spirit guides, source, higher self, you name it. To be quite honest, I know that's what's channeling through me right now is this a serious being, right? And it's, you hear the wordplay, serious being. Yeah, I'm serious about this work. Serious about getting these messages out. Okay. So Sirius is in alignment with our sun right now because our sun is a binary star system with Sirius. Okay. The best way that I like to break this down is our sun's mother is Sirius. Okay. So it's in direct alignment. And it's like when a mother is instilling love in her son, right? Lacing him with game, giving him information, giving him love. That's exactly what's happening right now with this Lion Gate. And it's not just Sirius is highlighted, yes, because we're in alignment with it. But again, directly across from Sirius is the Milky Way galaxy, Sagittarius, right? Sirius, Sagittarius, Sirius A, B, and C, Sagittarius A, B, and C, right? Where the stars are born, stars are created, stars are emitted, galaxies in the center of our Milky Way galaxy, right? This is where the soul is created, right? The great divine mother, right? Animated by the great divine father spirit. Okay. So there's a lot of information pouring in from the galactic center, which then filters through Earth, which is being sent to Sirius. And then Sirius is sending us information, which is being filtered through us. So it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship that's going on because we're getting a lot of information and it's going to be heavier than ever. It's going to be more intense. It's going to be more expansive. Why? Because the sun is conjunct Jupiter in Leo. Sidereally, the sun is conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, meaning that we're in direct alignment, and Jupiter is connected to Sagittarius because that's the ruling planet for Sagittarius. Ooh, come on, spirit. So we're going to be getting more downloads, more uploads, more messages. That's why y'all seeing the orbs. That's why y'all hearing the messages. That's why y'all feeling some type of way. That's why the sun is going to continue to kick off solar flares, corona holes. The earth is going to continue to shake and purge. Volcanoes are going to continue to erupt. Because as we are expanding our consciousness, expanding our hearts, expanding our minds, the earth is also purging, cleansing, detoxing, and expanding and ascending. Okay. Boop. And it just put me right back here on earth. They said, all right, boom, message sent. Gratitude. That's this Lion's Gate. That's the Lion's Gate, but where do you go when you enter in the gate? The Lion's Gate, the Lion's Gate. I'm going through a portal. Where's this portal taking you? And where are you coming out of when you step through the portal? Right? You should be getting more in tune with your soul and your spirit because from my perspective, that's Sirius. Sirius is the spirit. That's what animates the soul. Right? But you got to be in tune with your spirit. You got to be able to hear your spirit. You got to be able to be in tune with earth, with self. Otherwise, you're not going to hear nothing but a whole lot of nonsense because you ain't done the work to be no alchemist, to be the magician, to see yourself, to see your greatness. This is where you tap into your magic. This is where you tap into your power. Okay. All right. I'm not going to get in my ego. I'm going to keep going. So I said, yes, Sirius rising, the dog star. Leo is the gate, the portal to initiate the power, the spirit, and the soul. And we're in alignment to receive due to the sacrifice on the fixed cross. Okay. So if you've been surrendering to spirit, surrendering to yourself, surrendering to the work, making the sacrifices, dissolving the ego, not killing the ego, but checking the ego, because you can never truly kill the ego. The ego will be rebirthed, it will be reformed into something else. So, this is where you check yourself, take accountability, learn some discipline and alchemy. Then you're able to evolve and grow. Okay. All right. Also another thing attributed to the eight, again, insects, things that lie deep beyond the abyss. Okay. Spiders, scorpions, octopuses. These are things that, yeah, like crabs, excuse me, things that lie in the crevices. Those things will be highlighted. Okay. Um, and the all of these animals have more than one thing in common, but the main thing is that they're nocturnal. They can see in the dark because they dwell in the dark, right? And they're highly intelligent, right? They have this sense of going places that others are not allowed due to their intelligence, right? The spider, they can hang on walls, right? Spider-Man, right? This sixth sense, this inner knowing. I'm able to create whatever web, whatever timeline I want, because that's stemming from within me. That's stemming from the silk that I'm exuding out, right? That white light I'm exuding out. I'm able to extend that and create whatever web, whatever net to catch whatever I want by my intentions, by my thoughts. Same with the octopus, right? They're able to go into different crevices, go into different things. They shapeshift, right? Their bodies, they have different textures by the melanin, the pigment, right? So these are higher higher life forms of intelligence that we may not think are intelligent just because they may be smaller than us, at least for the spiders and the scorpions. But the octopuses, yeah, you really don't want to mess around with no octopus, a giant squid, the krakens. Okay, yeah, they spirit is saying they get as big as whales, as some of the biggest whales in the deep dark abyss. Highly intelligent, alien in nature, if you will, right? The way how they depict aliens, right? The big head, the big eyes, looks very much so like an octopus. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring it back. Let me reel it in a little bit. Another thing um that when I was writing octopus in my notes, oct popped up, and then it made me think of October, right? October is the 10th month on the Gregorian calendar, but really oct represents the 8. So there we're gonna be in this energy until we get into that Scorpio energy, right? That October, which is the 10, that 10 portal is going to be a very powerful portal because it's very much so connected to this energy that we're in right now. And that is the fall, right? When we start to go into the underworld, when we start to go into that lower realm, right? Okay, so it's going to be something there. And it's also going to be like this double up in energy because that is harvest season, right? Fall is harvest season. So there's going to be a lot of harvest at this time, right? Especially if you've been getting in tune with how to harmonize things, how to balance things at this time. This is where you receive your full harvest. You receive an abundant harvest, a fruitful harvest this year. Okay. Again, like I said, this is the 888 portal, and then this is the 10 year. So we're gonna see some things happen in that 10th month because that's going to be the 10 portal, which is really the 111 portal, which is really the 3. Okay. The divinity portal. So that's a little gem for y'all. Okay. Um, Another thing that's attributed to 8 is the cube, right? Saturn's cube, discipline, right? The hexagon on top of Saturn, right? Hex, 6, carbon, melanin, radiation, to release, sacrificing. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in there, y'all. That okay. Okay now. All right. Saturn's cube, the cube. How is cube related to 8? You may say, well, the cube, the box, has 8 corners, top and bottom, right? Again, that cross, that fixed cross, that axis, right? Breaking through certain boxes, certain constructs, releasing yourself, freeing yourself. And when you set yourself free, that is the present. Ooh, come on. All right. Another thing that I found very interesting was 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. If you add the 6 and the 4, you get 10, right? And we're in the year of the 10. So again, this is a full return on the investments that you made on yourself, the sacrifices that you made to get here with all of the discipline, learning, elevating, mastering yourself. Okay. Also, there has been huge transformations since 2018 for the collective, since 2008 for the collective. Okay. But there's been slow transformations and even bigger ones in 2020, in 2022, in 2024, and in 2026. So pay attention to those signs, symbols, and synchronicities and patterns because for a lot of you, those are major portal dates every 2 years. right? There's some type of revelation. There's some type of elevation. There's some type of reflection. There's some type of ascension. And it always happens like that if you truly pay attention to the signs, the symbols, and the synchronicities. I'm just pouring into y'all. I just love y'all so much. Okay. Also, it is, do I need to do that yet, Spirit? Okay. Also, when we break down the 8, I like that. Yes, August AU is gold and the AG is silver. Yes, I love that. Gold and silver, right? Getting in tune with your mind, your emotions, your cycles, your soul, your masculine, your feminine, your higher, your low, your lower, right? All of those things. Okay. Um Another thing when we get into 8 and numerology and mathematics of 8, right? This is the 888 portal, right? Again, 8 plus 8 is 16, right? 1 plus 6 is 7, right? Then 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24, right? 2 and 4 is 6. Okay. So if you line all of those numbers up, you get 876. This is the countdown for the glow up. Come on, y'all. Please get them likes up. Ain't nobody doing it like this. I had to get in my ego one time, Spirit. Ain't no melanated female on the internet giving it up like this. Okay. And gonna break it down like I break it down. Okay. Yeah. We're all part of the collective. We all bring a piece to the puzzle, but you know, baby. All right. Let me get out my ego. Also, another thing that's attributed to the 8 is a lotus. The lotus has 8 petals. And y'all know I love this analogy of the lotus. We are the lotus, right? What do lotuses do? Lotuses are able to dwell within the mud, right? Lilies are able to dwell within the mud. They sit in murky swamps, right? In the Nile River. Why? Because it's so much nutrients, right? The swamp is nutrient dense. All that bacteria, all of that fungi, all of that, right? Is gems hidden in the dark, is gems hidden in the cave, right? So that lotus, that flower, that lily is able to descend. How does it descend? Well, it is sentient, right? It's like a solar panel. It is aligned with the sun. And when the sun sets, the lily sets. Okay. So it's like a natural circadian rhythm within the intelligence of the lily, within the intelligence of the lotus, because the lotus dwells into darkness and it is protected. Ooh, come on. It is protected as it deep dives and descends into darkness until the sun comes out. Then it rises again and expands again. Right. And that's just like our consciousness. That's just like our minds. Right. It's ever flowing, it's everlasting, it's infinite. If you're able to deep dive within the subconscious of yourself to bring out the hidden gems that lie from within. Okay. Another thing that's attributed to 8 is a soul star chakra, right? Which is, spirit's giving me 5 feet above your head. 3 to 5 feet above your head is your soul star chakra. Okay. Which connects you to the ether plane, astral plane, right? But it's also connected to your soul, right? This isn't properly integrated if you haven't got in tune with the first 7 chakras, if you haven't done the alchemy work when it comes to your life force energy. Okay. This is when people astral travel or do drugs and they don't come back because they've crossed over past the soul plane because they haven't done the integration work of the soul, and they get trapped in them realms within their mind. Okay. So that's why it's always good to ground yourself as well, ground your soul. So that way you don't get lost in the ethers. Okay. All right now. Another thing attributed to the number 8 is oxygen. Yeah, none of us would be living without this good old oxygen that we breathe. Okay. Oxygen is essential for us to live, right? Oxygen in the brain, oxygen in the blood, oxygen in the lungs. That's a part of that life force energy. That that oxygen is conscious. The breath is conscious. It's consciousness. Without it, we lose consciousness. Okay. So be very mindful again of what you consume. Okay. At this time, because it's different forms of things we can inhale and take to get us higher, right? When you get in tune with that breath, you tap into different levels of meditation and breath work, you can get naturally high, right? That's how you release DMT naturally, is through the breath. It's how you slow down the heart rate. That's how you reset the nervous system. It's through the breath, it's through the oxygen going to the brain and releasing. Okay. All right. Um okay. Those were the scrying notes that I had for the 888 portal. I think they were pretty good. I want to get into the astrology part. So again, don't forget to get those likes up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. Shout out to everybody who's been purchasing tea, right? Purchasing 111 blend, booking sessions, buying products. Okay. Um, Getting in tune with the I am infinite, I am unlimited meditation. Also, my bliss bath detox. All of those things are on my website, nudiamonds.net. The link for that is in the description box below. Okay. So thank you guys so much. Everybody who's been tapping in with the products, leaving great reviews, great testimonies of how it's help healing you, help changing your life, help charging you up. That's priceless, right? Health is wealth. You investing in yourself is always a priceless investment. Okay. All right. And shout out to everybody who's been donating and sending me love as well. Gratitude, Soul Tribe. Okay. All right, so let's get into the astrology. Ooh, my heart. Give me a second. Which is also attributed to the 8 is the heart, the H, the gateway, the bridge. Okay. All right. So the astrology for this 888 LionGate portal is very powerful. Okay. Okay, my spirit said bring it up so y'all can see, so I can take y'all through there with me. All right. So as you can see, the sun, 16 degrees, Jupiter, 8 degrees. Remember, this is the 888, right? I broke down the numerology, 8 plus 8, 16, right? So it's a lot of energy that is pouring in when it comes to this 8-8 energy, 888 energy, okay? Let me show y'all the date, August 8th. Okay, I got it set to the time zone. So you can see again when the sun was rising, where this energy was at. On Western tropical astrology. Okay. Sidereally, again, all of the degrees are 24 degrees behind. So this would be in Cancer. Okay. But we just gonna do this like this for the sake of the LionGate video. Okay. Y'all know I do sidereal energy readings as well. So again, people who want to book natal chart readings, link is in the description box below. But let's get into this astrology breakdown. Okay. So it was rising in Leo. And this is rising in discipline to receive the rewards of the heart. Okay. Again, it's on that fixed cross axis. Fixed cross axis is at play here with this rising in Leo and us being in Leo season. This is the LionGate portal, right? The Sirius rising energy. Okay. Rising in discipline to receive the rewards of the heart. A passion, a flame has risen within the collective. A collective initiation that can be felt. The new frequency and the new vibrations is here. This ether resides within you. You're shining your light in a different way. And there's something different about you that you can feel, that you will feel, and that you will see. There will be lots of contact this week, on this day, in this month. There will be lots of messages from divine messengers, all kinds of messengers, whether it's animals, whether it's synchronicities, signs, symbols, people, yourself, your dreams. Be sure to write everything down. Ancestors are coming in. Ancient ancestors are coming in. Okay. Pay attention because Sirius is in direct contact with us. This is a huge pineal gland activation, first eye activations, sixth chakra and beyond activations. We'll be we will be poured into. Information will be pouring into us. Water will be poured on us to cleanse, purge, release, and heal. A lot of gamma ray frequencies will be coming in at this time. We're already in the midst of that with this 3G solar storm coming in. Okay. Y'all know I talk about that all the time on my channel. It's here now. Okay. And we're going to be receiving more information from the sun, more information from ourselves, more information from the cosmos, more information from the earth than ever right now. Okay. And it's all to enlighten us. Okay. Then when I started to tap into this energy, I kept seeing bubbles. I seen bubbles rising to the surface. And it reminded me a lot of alchemy, the alchemy process when oxygen is being extracted from things. When you're doing alchemy, when things are in the water and oxygen is rising, right? The bubbles, right? The carbon. I love this. The bubbles in the cells in the body, the bubbles in the mind for expansion in consciousness, for expansion in the heart, for expansion in your soul, for your spirit and soul growth and self growth. This is the double up. Okay. And I just was breaking down this energy. Okay. Again, 8, 8, 8. All right. And it's a fire trine here, right? Fire trine meaning that we have placements and planets in fire signs. So we have Neptune, Saturn, Aries, Jupiter, Sun, Leo, Lilith, and the Vernix at Sagittarius. I'm going to break all of this down, but I'm just showing y'all the fire trine. Okay. Meaning that this is inevitable. Okay. Initiations, activations, purifications. It's inevitable. It's happening now. It's going to happen. It's no stopping it. Okay. Also, when I look at the South Node being 0 degrees in Virgo, because the South Node is about to go into Leo. I did that breakdown. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest you do. Okay. So the South Node at 0 degrees in Virgo, meaning that this is a soul reset. When it comes to the past ways, when it comes to how you're healing, a reset on health, a reset when it comes to wanting to be perfect, because that's an illusion. You breaking past the illusion of the spirit, the illusion of the soul, right? Because opposite of Virgo is Pisces, and Pisces is all about an illusion, right? So you're breaking past these things to get into your heart, to get into with your soul. Okay. So I said a soul reset when it comes to health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, financially. So the truth can be revealed and get in tune about your values and what you learned and the lessons you learned to grow. New soul contracts will start here with yourself and with others. Okay. And I say that because every 8, 8 portal It's like clockwork. New souls come in on the A8 portal, and new souls exit out on that A8. Old souls exit out on the A8 portal, and new souls come in. So you're going to be having a lot of encounters physically and spiritually. Pay attention to who's in your life right now. Pay attention to things that you're doing in your life right now. Okay. These are high level spiritual souls sent here for a different level of soul activation and soul remembrance, spiritual soul mission activations and remembrance and initiations. Okay. Okay. I also said Venus is in Libra, conjunct the fortune. Okay. So, baby, there's going to be a lot of divine unions. There's going to be a lot of love all this week. Y'all going to hear me talk about love. I'm giving y'all the warning right now. Okay. A lot of divine unions that are destined to bring good fortune. It's conjunct the fortune. So relationships that stand on justice, that stand for something, not the mundane, not the superficial, not the artificial, right? This is divine soulmates coming together for a bigger purpose. Okay. Romantically, business, platonic, all levels, and abundance, abundance, abundance coming in for the collective. A lot of opportunities, a lot of gifts, right? And a sextile to Sirius, a sextile to Jupiter and the sun. So these things are going to get you excited. You may feel some, like I said, a lot of Kundalini energy, a lot of life force energy, a lot of tantric energy. Be open, because that orgasmic bliss is a taste of source. Okay. I said X marks the spot, baby. Okay. Ooh, hold on. Let me sip some tea. Let me contain myself. That got me excited. Okay. A lot of divine communication that will help you expand good abundance in your life, in their lives, in other lives, in all lives. Okay. Love and abundance. Love and abundance. Love and abundance is here. Self-love, divine unions, partnerships, romantic relationships, people getting married, people having kids, right? People becoming one with themselves, loving themselves truly, right? People getting in tune with business partners, business opportunities that bring in a lot of big bucks, a lot of big money, right? Your gifts being enhanced at an all-time high, receiving physical gifts, receiving spiritual gifts. Be open. Karmic contracts ending for divine contracts to start. New love contracts that are built on clear communication, trust, justice, honesty, divine law, divine principles, pure love, pure intentions, morals, values. Okay. To balance out the karmic scales. For people who love, love. This is love, love. For people who love, love, love relationships, abundant relationships, abundance, 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 prosperity, joy, happiness, bliss. Okay. Something or someone will come through this divine portal for you that is very abundant. Okay. I put insight. I don't even know why I put that. I just put insight. Whew. A lot of money, abundance, love, and prosperous relationships will start to happen. Watch. This is where you receive your rewards, inner rewards and outer rewards. A lot of Kundalini energy. So, grounding will be very important. Making love will be very important. Okay. Making love to yourself, loving yourself, right? Spending time with yourself. Again, self-care, massages, vacations, therapy, sitting in stillness without external stimulation and gratification and validation. Yeah, that's pouring into yourself and pouring yourself love, right? It's always to be intimate and love on yourself, pouring into your inner child, right? It's a list of things. Do what feels good to you. Okay. Do what makes you happy. And also making love with a partner, making love to source, being in love with source, being in love with self, being in love with your soulmate, right? For people who are in relationships, because everybody not single, everybody ain't in bad relationships. I have people who watch me who are married, who are in happy relationships. Yeah, make love. Again, this can be romantic. This can be intimate. This could be going out on a date, right? And the date ain't got to be blowing bands, but you can blow bands if you want. But this is like I said, it's different forms of intimacy. You can go to a park, sit under a tree, have a picnic, go to the beach, go for a hike, right? Cook somebody dinner, read them a book, it ain't always got to be Netflix and chill. Okay. There's different ways to make love, right? Explore that, get creative with that. You know what your partner like. Yeah, do what they like. Okay. All right. Making love will be important. Sacred energy exchanges and divine love is pouring in from above. Okay. And we got Lilith in Sagittarius. And we got the vertex in Sagittarius. They're conjunct. Okay. Don't be afraid to open your heart. Don't be afraid to go the distance. This is destined. This is fated. This fated event will happen and it will feel natural. It will feel orgasmic. It will feel like divine bliss. Trust yourself to unlock the hidden power from within. your heart and your soul. Okay. I'm going around the wheel. Boop. This all underworld too. This all underneath. This all spiritual. This all subconscious. Right. This is what's going on under the horizon. Right. Things that you can't see. I'm giving y'all a whole lesson right now. All right. You can also book astrological classes and lessons on my website as well. Okay. But I'm just showing y'all this is what's happening. Okay. Then we also have Pluto at the 4th degree in Aquarius. And things are bound to change. The bonds are changing in the generations. The collective consciousness is going through a death physically and spiritually to help build the new world, the new structure, the new foundations to stand on. Okay. Building new tech, getting in tune with technology, the inner technology, the outer technology. There will be new leaders born and old leaders dying. Old views dying to usher in a new way. Okay. Got the North Node at 0 degrees in Pisces. I said this is a new collective soul mission. This is a rebirth. A lot of us feel like we're having a rebirth, a spiritual initiation, a spiritual awakening. Yeah, because the North Node is getting ready to go into Aquarius. It's already in Aquarius. Okay. You could feel it. This is the rebirth. Out with the old, in with the new. Letting go to embrace the new. Don't be afraid of yourself. Don't be afraid of your power. Surrender to yourself to unlock the magic, the power that resides within. And then when I was writing these messages down, I felt a source come in and it said, "You are me and I am you. Source divine light, shine. A new spark of creation will be born at this time." Okay. And that was like a divine message from source that came in. Okay. And then I heard, unfortunately, there will be a lot of stillborns. Okay. That's just a message I got. Okay. And why? Because it's due to, and that's physically and spiritually, right? People physically dead, spiritually dead, right? Consciously, right? The zombies, the NPCs, right? That's stillborn, right? And why? Because of all of the things that are done for a woman to give birth in a non-traditional way, right? So this is going about the system's way of doing things. Okay. And then also due to the frequencies here on this planet, there will be a lot of stillborns, right? All of the negative radiation that's interfering at this time. But with that, there will be divine interference. Okay. We will be hit with some type of radio wave. Like we're going to hear the ringing in the ears. Y'all probably already hearing the ringing in the ears. I know I am. And that lets you know that there's a message coming in. You're getting tuned into a higher frequency. Okay. High pitched noises, high pitched sounds. Again, going back to that octave energy. Just pay attention. Meditation is highly recommended to get attuned to this higher frequency. Okay. All right. Then we got Neptune and Saturn in Aries, which is all about spiritual gifts and rewards that are coming in for people who had the spiritual discipline. Okay. And people who weren't afraid to take a leap of faith and go to distance. They mastered their free will to tap into their willpower, not abusing their spiritual authority. Lots will be granted, inherited, and there's a lot of retribution. All of the good things. Okay. Um, yeah, you got to get in tune with your values. This is a reset on values. It's going to be going back into Aries, and it will be there until April of next year. So there's going to be a lot of mind revelations at this time. Okay. Also, we have Uranus, the moon, and Mars in Gemini. So continue to master the mind. You are highly favored, divinely favored, and acknowledged in the higher realms. Your name rings bells. You are famous in high places, people watching you. Your name is being spoke in rooms you haven't entered, in high regard behind closed doors. So keep doing what you're doing, and you will continue to attract everything that it is that you need. You will continue to receive gifts, info, your mind, and initiations. Whatever passions that you have that inspire you, let those drive you. Let that motivate you and motivate others at this time. Okay. And then we have Mercury in Cancer. And I said, this is a power portal to connect with the mind, to activate, working with your mind, working with yourself, to elevate. Okay. And to me, this looks like, yeah, big beams of light coming in, lots of information coming in. We got a mystical rectangle. We're going to see a lot of mystical, magical things. Okay. So, yes, that was the astrology chart breakdown. I'm going to get into a meditation, a live meditation. Again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to get those likes up. Anything you may be looking for is down in the description box below. Immediately, I see a divine energy here, and there's a lot of white light. It's like a big beam of white light here. So yeah, we're gonna be getting a lot of information, a lot of activations, a lot of integration, a lot of initiations, a lot of light codes pouring in, divine source coming in, divine interference. Divine enlightenment, being open to surrender to that, being open to surrender to yourself, and the information that pours in at this time for us, because we're getting ready to take off. Yes. Because we master our lower selves to get in tune with our higher selves. I'm getting the chills. Got chills all over my body. Yeah, huge spiritual activations. It's gonna come in like a pulse wave because that's what it feels like a pulse. Um, this is what spirit showing me, like a pulse wave, electromagnetic waves hitting the earth that activates us and activates our hearts like a straight shot to the crown from the root. Is gonna feel like kundalini energy. Yeah, grounding will be very important. We're gonna see a lot of people crash out, people who aren't in tune with alchemy and healing themselves. They will continue to fall by the wayside, they fall by the waistline. Ooh, because they can't rise above their lower nature. Meanwhile, we're gonna be getting great solar activations. Because I feel that energy on the back of my neck, on my spine. I also keep seeing like this dead fish energy, which is making me think like the old Piscean age, people, yeah, lost in illusion. Um, People who aren't able to purify. Okay. Yeah, like old souls trapped in loss. Um, Serious. Ah, thank you, Spirit. This is I'm seeing a serious sigil. The sigil for Sirius. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I'm like, what is that? It looks like fish bones, but okay, thank you. And I'm seeing Neptune's trident. Mm-hmm. The waterways, the water waves and water rays. And they said raise, and they said raise like rise, but also raise like rays of light. Okay. And the waves, the ways, the ways of the water and the waves of the water. Yeah, the information that is coming in. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Whoa. Take me through there. Okay. Um, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of information. Yeah, you guys make sure you're writing down your dreams, scrying like information that comes in at this time because they're showing me like a greater than sign, and then I could see our bodies. But it also looks like a trumpet, it looks like a horn, like energy. A lot of information is going to be coming in, also like frequencies that we're going to be hearing and feeling. And now I'm seeing like a what is this? One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm seeing a star, a 6 pointed, 8 pointed star. Oh, okay. A lot of Merkaba activations, a lot of light body activations at this time for us to continue to ascend. Okay. That's why they want us to meditate during this time, any time, because there is no interference. It's a straight shot to get direct messages. Okay, high contact, high level contact at this time. Medication. Meditation is highly advised. Okay. So you could like tap in for people who want to tap in. It's easier to tap into things at this time because of the portal. Because the veil is like gone between the dimensions. It's like a stargate. Stargate is open. Okay. 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 So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of contact, gratitude, 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 gratitude. Thank you so much. Star beings and source and spirit guides for that beautiful message. There's gonna be, oh snap, y'all. Guess what's here? I opened up my eyes and guess what's here, you guys. Oh, sookie, sookie now. Drop them rainbows in the chat. Drop them rainbows in the chat. Y'all already know what time it is. I come out the channel and the rainbow is here. The rainbow is here. And y'all know I gotta show y'all. Cause I got to lie for. I ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Okay. The rainbow is here. Hold on. Let me look at it. Okay. Okay now. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, spirit. All right. I want to read these two cards. Again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to get those likes up. We got divine confirmation, divine synchronicity, symbols. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah, source is here. The angels is here. Star family's here. Spirit guides. Whoo. Heart chakra palpitations, heart chakra activations, crown chakra. Yeah. We tapping into that infinity and beyond energy. Okay. Remember to get outside and ground yourself. Bare soles of your feet on the grass. Okay. Or get outside, get some of these ions, negative ions. Okay. Like the water by the beach, under a tree, in a field of flowers. Like, yeah. Tap in with that heart. Tap in with the root. Tap in with earth. Okay. I'm going to read 888 from the Angel Numbers deck. And it says karma, balance, finances, success, wealth, cycles. What goes around comes around. Okay. A lot of money is coming your way. Fortune refers to more than just monetary and material success. If you don't appreciate the people in your life now, you won't have them tomorrow. This message encourages you to take personal responsibilities and use it to realize your greatest potential. I love you too. I love you so much. And I love you back. Okay. All right, Marie, 888. Personal power, material and spiritual abundance, wealth, resources, force, balance, confidence, material gains, epic romance. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending the numbers to reassure you of the prosperity and well being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for the greater good. Okay? I love y'all so much. I feel like that was a great energy reading. Again, don't forget to get those likes up. Um, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. Shout out to the members. Thank y'all so much for the donations. If it's anything you may be looking for, again, if you want to purchase some tea, purchase elixirs, purchase 111 blend, bliss bath detox, um, my affirmation, um, jewelry consultations, book readings, book astrology, natal chart readings, all of that is down in the description box below. My website is nudiamonds.net. Um, Also, one more announcement. I will be doing a 8/8 LionGate activations with Miss Blue. She's going to be hosting this event on 8/8. It is a free event. We're just giving back to the collective, working together as a collective, and it's going to be amazing. You do have to register because seats are limited. So please, you guys, if you want to tap into this beautiful 8/8 energy, we're going to be doing it on 8/8. All of that information is down in the description box below. It's going to be a good time, real good time. So I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait. Again, this has been a beautiful energy. Super excited. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't thank y'all enough. We on the road to that 10K. It's up. Gratitude. I love y'all. And I see y'all on 8/8. I'm gonna be dropping more videos. Also, we have the solar eclipse coming up. I'll be doing a video for that as well. And yeah, if you guys, want to reach out to me, you can always reach out to me at any time. Okay. I love you guys so much. Love, bliss, and abundance. And I catch you guys on the next one. And if you got all the way to the end of this video, to let me know that you watched this, you resonate with it, confirming this energy for you, attracting this energy for you, drop some gems in the comment box, drop some gems in the chat just to let me know you received this beautiful 888 message. All right. I love y'all so much, and I catch y'all on the next one. Until next time, Soul Tribe. Peace.